Welcome to Generation Podcast. Here we are once again. Hello, Andy. How are you?
I'm really good. I got my fishies. I got my raisins. Consumed my I finished the rest of the coffee, the night coffee, the cold press or whatever, fucking from a jar thing.
Do you regularly eat raisins? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
just something you do?
my girlfriend lets me eat them. Isn't that great?
Don't you they affect your bowels somehow? You say she lets you.
I
Does
mean,
she not know?
anyone should be able to control my eating because everything makes me fart. And I was just we were like canoodling, and I was like, you know what else I really like is apricots. I was like, dried apricots. I like apricots. I'm like, she's like, oh, we can get some of those. Like, oh yeah, baby, let's get some apricots in this motherfucker. So I get
Those,
night coffee and apricot and fart on my couch.
you know,
Oh,
like I think last time we talked, you said you had to throw out 3 pairs of underwear in the last 2 months. I think these
three
are
and
some of
two.
those. Yeah, I think these are some of those things that contribute to your problems is
I eat
is
a lot
late
of Brussels sprouts now.
late night coffee and dried fruit. I think makes you
And Brussels sprouts.
probably doesn't help.
Hey, hey, listener, why don't you email us degeneration@gmail.com if you can hear me eating fishies?
I'm
You
sure
like
I'm
it?
sure I'm sure they can. I
Is
would
the acoustics
imagine that
really
they can.
good?
Well, Zoom does a pretty good job of blocking out sound. We were trying to noodle with like playing music and it
Yeah.
it shuts it all off and I
They're like,
forgot to.
you, who do you think you are? I am the captain.
I am the captain now. Anytime I get the opportunity, if someone like leaves a meeting at work and then it's like, you are now the leader of the meeting. And so you get the power to say, when you leave call, it can say leave or end for all. I always choose end for all. And every
Yeah.
time I go, I am the captain now. Me, I am the captain.
Me, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's great.
I feel like whoever wins president should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the captain now. Yeah, I
Or
mean
like either
why not?
again or now. Yeah. What's that?
That's a great idea. Speaking of who's going to be president, I took a trip with the missus to a friend's wedding in Ohio, which
A
I don't
French
know
wedding in Ohio. That's
a
nice.
a friend's
I know,
wedding.
I heard it. I heard
Yeah, all
it. They
right,
two friends
all
marrying
right,
each
all
other
right.
for the tax write off, the
Yeah, just
insurance write off,
um the what?
the insurance write off.
No, no, that was the other friend. I didn't go to that other friend's wedding who needed a hip. That was a separate thing.
He
He
needed a
got a
hip.
he got a wife to get a hip to get on her insurance. Did I not tell you this?
What? How can you leave out fraud in our conversations?
Well, I'll start.
Care to
Okay,
be the fraud? That's
which one?
great.
Which one do you want me to lead with? The kind of
Definitely.
boring where I
I
was
don't
going
care
with
about your
Ohio or
friends.
the.
Your fucking friend's Ohio wedding sounds awful. I want to hear the hip wedding.
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
Let
cool,
me hear the
cool.
fraud wedding.
It wasn't fraud. I guess
Sounds fraudish.
they were already engaged, but they
Okay.
accelerated the wedding and went to the courthouse because he needed a hip replacement despite being 40. Um,
What's he
and
doing?
I don't
Is
know.
he a skier?
You know the guy.
I know the guy.
Yeah, yeah, you know the guy.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
he needed a hip replacement and he's like under her insurance it was going to be 100% covered. I'm like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. So you got a hip wife. I got you. You got a wife so you can get a hip.
Oh wait, yeah, you told me that. Oh
It's a
yeah, I
whole
know.
hip scheme. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then she was right there, so then I introduced myself afterwards. But it's really, I think it's just about a hip. But then they're getting
Like
like what he said was real married. And I said, "Oh, good.
that's nice.
Yeah, yeah."
What else is broken on you?
I don't know.
I
Probably
mean,
lots
when
of
we used
stuff.
to play football with him, he was like he was kind of quick, but I could see how he could need a hit.
Yeah.
We torched his ass, running them sprints right at him, and then make my one move, which for some reason worked almost every time.
Sure. Even though it's the same move. It's
I
just a
know,
one
but
move.
like doesn't matter. It's like like it's like timing the triple deke in Mighty Ducks when they was like he goes, oh, he's 1, 2, 3, but it's so like sprint right. at your face, and they're like, ah, and you get them to turn their hips. I made him turn his hips too much, and that's why he broke. All I do is make one move inside or outside and go the other way, and then
So
back.
it's maybe that's why it's keeping up with your hips, and your hips don't lie.
My
They're
hips do not
steering.
lie. I'm really fast in football. Whoops, my raisins are falling out of my mouth.
So anyway, back to the Ohio thing. They
Yeah.
somehow they were all tipsy. This is before the wedding. The people that were gathered in the house I was at, and they were all drunk and starting to solve the world's problems and
Oh God.
starting to talk politics. And then the guy's house we were at was like, hold on, I'll go to the mailbox right now and I'll show you how many political ads we have being in a swing state. And he came back fucking armload of like things for both sides, all sides of everything.
Really?
They
A
just
dummy
cram it.
thick stack of grifters going
Oh
at
my
him.
gosh, yeah. And he's like, this is like he's like, I didn't check the mail yesterday, so this is 2 days worth of. And it was seriously, it was like 20 different like postcard placards, whatever.
I get text from a certain politician because I think of my dad, and it's like it says his name on half of the. Anytime it says a name, it's his name. I'm like, I can't do anything about this. They got me. They got me. I got to do it. I got to vote for him. Right? That's how it works, right?
I think so. There's
I'm gonna
there's
do it.
a mom at my kid's school who was upset because all the teachers show YouTube ad or YouTube videos, and sometimes there's YouTube ads, and sometimes there's political ads because there's a big election coming up.
Yeah.
Are there ever small elections? It's just a minor thing. It's a small thing. I guess midterms, they don't count, right? People don't vote in those.
No, they.
They
I mean,
probably
they vote
should.
for him on like a regular like presidential election year. They're like, oh, these other names. Whoop,
Sure,
whoop,
sure, sure.
whoop, whoop. I'm like,
Anyways,
I for 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, is this a guy I can trust? And then I'm like, bloop, 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 vote. Go ahead, continue. Ugh.
the parent was very upset that there's political ads being shown in the YouTube videos.
And
Um,
you're like, they're like, some of the teachers are, hey, bitch, like, we're not compensated, so we don't
we
have the
don't
YouTube premium
YouTube Premium.
or
I gotta
YouTube
tell you,
Red. What is it?
it's YouTube Premium. I got YouTube
Oh.
Premium. It's the best. It's the most bougie thing I have of all the subscription things I
Of
have.
all the premiums,
Of
including
all the
highlights for children.
Yeah, of all the things that I have, it's definitely the bougiest. I'm like, ugh, ads. Ugh,
I know,
ugh.
right? Oh, the commerce. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
Uh,
I can't wait. I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna spring for it. Just gonna hit another parlay and I'm gonna get a Spotify premium. I'm gonna get a YouTube premium. I'm gonna get tested. I'm gonna what? Excuse me? But that's
uh,
great. But so did they have to have a drag out fight? She
I
take
they
it to
just
Graham?
they're sending an email to the principal to you know address this issue somehow. I don't know why.
Oh, I'm
Why does it matter?
thinking that it was the presidential one.
Oh, it definitely was, and it was the wrong. It was probably just the wrong party affiliation, and so it was like,
Of course.
oh, I would have done it if it was the other party, but it was if it was the
Yeah,
party
but
I support, I
this
would have said the same
person,
thing.
he can't go. We can't go back. We can't go back. And we're like, okay. I personally love seeing like the ginormous like flags and windows, like Harris Walls flags and like in Northern Virginia, where it's like, okay, I don't think you swayed anybody. I'm pretty sure all these govies that are on the tit are gonna be on your side anyway. So it's like,
Well,
and
that
then
was
you go to a rundown place and it's all Trump will get us done. I'm like, yeah, probably not. Probably neither of these things are going to be a positive thing. So just silently cast your vote or don't. We're saying don't, but
I think we left it last time with don't vote. Just don't vote.
I
Everyone's
might.
saying vote, just don't. Well,
I
I
only do
was
it by the
concerned
mail.
about these political ads on the YouTube videos, and the schools were going to sway these fourth grade voters.
Yeah.
That's really going to be an issue.
We gotta make fourth grade voting pure again. I voted for you, Mimi. I don't know if we've talked about that on the show, but
I think we did last
we did.
very
I put that
yes.
in the script that I'm
Good.
writing. It was so there's the purest moment of comedy. It was like, now we're not talking about who we voted for. That's a very important part of the process. I voted for you, Mimi. the
We
class
literally
election.
we literally said this last time. So
Oh, great. Oh,
any
we're digging
re
out the hits.
yeah, already circling back to a totally insignificant
Circle
story
back.
because there's nothing
Key
else.
moment 1990 has to be brought up immediately within 10 minutes on the show. Immediately.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
speaking of midget, I can't say, can you say midget? What is it called now? Little person.
I thought that they went back. I thought they got together and
They went back? Who's they?
they like I
The
thought
Council of Mittles.
at some point they said no, we want midgets. I
You think
thought I
village
could be totally wrong.
it was the village board of Ufgood was like, hey, that was the village, right?
No, he's Willow Ufgood. That's his name.
Oh shit. What was the
Uh
village called? Look
oh
it
god.
up.
Yes, all right.
We need to know. I need to be more accurate the next time I circle back to that, which I will probably next week. I'll be like, ah, whatever, well, because
Uh Nelwyn. That's right, Nelwyn.
Nelwyn with an N.
Yeah, Nelwyn. It
That's
was
a
one of the
great.
many that lay in Nelwyn Valley,
So,
along
so it's
River
a
Freen near the
River
rugged
Freen where
forest.
they find the baby, the chosen baby we took from the Bible. So basically, they had the Council of Nelwyn voting for what to call them. They're like, we don't like Peck. We can't say we're tired of Mad Mardigan
Yeah.
saying Peck, 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 and
It
we're gonna
was
change.
yeah, it was Burglekutt's decision actually.
Burglar cut strong armed the Council of Nelwyn.
He was the prefect of Nelwyn
He was.
as memory serves. Yeah, and then
Oh, some memory
uh
serves.
there's the Aldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I gotta
What
pull the Wikipedia back up.
was
I
that?
think the
The
Aldwin's the
wizard?
wizard. Yeah, whereas like which finger does the power lie?
Yeah, I love that. I love
And
that.
yeah,
The acorns, man. So
yeah.
the reason I brought that up was
Oh, he
because
said it different. I think I combined his thing and Hulk
yeah,
Hogan's, where he's like,
Hulk
"This is
Hogan.
where the power
This
lies."
is where the power lies. And like
God,
that guy,
that's one of the
man.
best. That's one of the best promos. It's not as
He-
good as Randy Savage's. The cream rises to the top,
the cream rises up.
where he just keeps on pulling coffee creamers out of his
Yeah,
giant catcher mitt hands.
his hands are huge, man.
God, what a national
If that
treasure.
guy just like lovingly touches your neck and blocks your airway,
Yeah, in a loving
man,
way.
don't sleep with that guy.
He was a yeah. That Miss Elizabeth learned that. Apparently, he was a bit rough with Miss Elizabeth
Oh
in
no! So the midgets,
yeah,
the
back to
little
the midget. Yeah, yeah. Well, from what I understand, I think they one of them sat on the other one's shoulders, and they put a trench coat on. They went into the real world, and then they voted for the term that they wanted to be called, and it was midget. I
do they mail in ballot from Nelwyn to
now
the
went, yeah, I think
council?
so. I think two kids in a trench coat is still the funniest. Like that, there's something just brilliant about it. It could be midgets,
Classic.
but I think two children in a trench coat always makes me laugh.
What if it's three midgets the size of two children? Is there a weight? Is there like a weights and measurement for that? So, anyways,
I
this
don't know if there's a standard unit of measurement
do they have their
for.
own measurements? Is one of them called like a farthing, but not like something a word like farthing? Is
Oh,
it like
I
a
don't know.
tri like it's like they're
We
measured in
wait.
tripod units?
Let's get out.
Tripod unit. No, no, but I had a reason for this. There's an actual
Yeah, all right. Go.
story.
Let's go to that with that whatever that was.
This bulletin just in. I saw a Peck's penis on a video on a phone of a friend that met him on a dating site, and
Yeah.
he so this is horrible, but he looks a little bit like what's his face? Peter Dinklage. He's like handsome. I was like, does the handsome ones come in one like a specific form because he looked like he could be his cousin or something.
Mhm.
And I wonder if that there's an effect where you're like, oh, it's because it's the one I know. It's the one I know. But like, I really think he kind of looked like him. Anyways, he was a tripod. He had a normal looking penis on the video. And here's his, I don't know why he said, I don't know where their conversation went to. I think she stoked the flame out of curiosity or something. But sure enough, They can be jerks too, or weirdos that just like, you know what, will probably help the situation? Pictures of my dick, or like a video of my dick, and he's sitting there like, ugh. And he doesn't make any sound. And I'm like, is this a soundless video? Like, I was trying to turn the sound up. I'm like, what's like, why are you turning the sound up? I'm like, I don't know, because he's staring at the camera. It's unsettling. Everything about this is deeply unsettling, but also you should fuck him. I want to know what your experience is like with this tripod. And it was ridiculous because he's sitting there like, seriously, Luther, it was like I was doing a face, and I had to take my
Yeah, it doesn't
glasses
make
off.
for great audio, but
Terrible
he
audio,
took his
but you
glasses
laugh.
off and put his
He
eyes
took
close
his
to the
glasses
camera
off
and
and put his
stared
eyes
with blank,
like
soulless
vacant, like
expression.
concern. I was
Yeah.
like, "Are you enjoying this? Does it matter? I'm doing this into the void. Someone will like it."
So this small person had a large dong or just like a normal sized dong and he
I
had
mean,
small
I'm
legs, or
so yeah. He had like
he didn't have it up to a standard midget farthing, so you couldn't tell.
I
But
was not. He was not in the proper farthing scale.
farthing. Sorry, it's a
And I was like, do
farthing.
they measure their angles with? I was thinking about. I made a reference to protractors. I was on a roll at this like 5-person party, dude. I was rolling. I'm like, man, someone should hear this right now. This is a kill on the cast. I'm like,
Was it late in the evening where they were laughing, where
yes.
they everyone was intoxicated and you're sober and they're laughing at everything, and then it feels like
Stone
it's not fun
sober. I'm
anymore?
like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
great. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, you know what that feeling is? You don't drink, so it's like, oh, I'm just killing it right now.
Yeah, yeah. It stops getting fun after a little while when you're
Yeah, they're
dancing
like,
circles around people.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh
I was cracking up a party of drunkards at this wedding, and it's like,
yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Ohio dollar drunkards.
I need Ohio's delightful. They also
Of
have
course
great
you.
foliage. It's
Good
great.
fall weather.
They're do. It was
Chris.
honestly, it was beautiful.
That's nice.
Rolling through the Pennsylvania Turnpike, up through all the mountains and hills, and everything was orange and red, and
It's great because you're seeing the scene and scenery and not like, dude, post-apocalyptic Pennsylvania is probably amazing because there's all the brickheads are gone.
well, there's like Philly on the east and Pittsburgh on the west, and then there's
Yeah.
nothing in between, right?
Well, there's like valleys and stuff, and it's really pretty. Like the state itself is really pretty. It's just a bunch of brickheads, as I've learned from interacting. He
Brickheads.
or the same buddy that said the Mimi thing lives in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And he has a child, and I said I made a reference to these brickheads, look at these PA brickheads. His son is like, like it's like taking notes in the back seat because now still like 2 3 years later he's like, those brickheads. I'm like, oh no.
Well, that one's fine. It's
I
fine.
know, but he's like, God, he's like, I just picture this kid who's already had some troubling things, and it was just like has done some troubling things, and it's like knowing that I'm arming this smart, petulant boy with like new vocabulary about the commoners around him. It was great, like brickheads. I like he says it like that. Um, brickhead. Yeah, but they're dumb. I mean, if you're from Pennsylvania and you'd like to counter that, feel free to email us. Remember, it's a .com at the end of it. It's generation@gmail.com. You have to put a .com. It's a dot and then com.
You're spelling it
So
out for Pennsylvania brickheads.
if you want to use an email machine at a convenience store or something, at a Sheets or a Wawa, they have Wawa
Yeah,
there too, right? Yeah.
they do,
Um,
and yeah, they do. I think
they're
they came
hills.
up with Sheets. I think Sheets is from there.
Oh, it is. Mr. Sheets is definitely from there.
I think he is actually.
He loves convenience. He wants you to have a convenient life.
Actually, random story. A friend of mine went to Penn State, and he went to Penn State with the heir of Sheets or the heir apparent a Sheets.
A
Like they
Sheets
took,
person?
yeah, like they took helicopters to the game.
Holy
Or to the,
Sheets.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
that's the end of that tale. Just kind of, hey,
Were
one time
they
this thing happened.
were they cool?
The guy Sheets, I didn't know. The friend
It would
of
have been
mine must
cooler if
know.
it was a lady. And then he was like, hey, can I let's
Hey,
go
why
down while you're going up.
don't you get in my sheets?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, hey, get up in these sheets. Oh, that
hey.
would use that all the time. Like, hey, 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 hey. And I have a bobblehead like Quagmire. Like, hey, hey, hey.
Sure, 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 sure.
Penn State. You remember that old commercial, the Big Ten Network commercial? And it was fucking Joe Paterno. And it was like everyone had a pitch for their like school. And it was like Mark D'Antonio or like the old MSU coach Izzo, basketball coach, current basketball coach Izzo. And then a couple other coaches were like making pitch ploys to like as if like, it's like branding for the network and the conference. And he would be like, come to Penn State. It's so funny, and then it's really darkly funny now. Yeah,
Sure.
it's great. It's come to Penn State, oh little boy.
We'll be back after a quick break.
I've started thinking a lot more frequently about my own mortality. So I created When We Die Talks, a social media project turned podcast where I ask people to share what they believe happens when we die. I like to think of it as if I'm crowdsourcing ideas about death, not just to find something I can believe in, but to explore ways we can all become more comfortable with the unknown. This podcast is more than just conversations about death. It's about learning how to live without being paralyzed by the fear of the inevitable.
Anyways, what are you doing?
Izzo has a crazy voice because he screamed it away for 50 years.
Yeah, his voice.
It's just not like that.
It sounds like a mobster, right? Like a
It's
jolly
something.
mobster. He's
Yeah,
like the count. He's like the consigliere guy that's a little more pleasant than the others.
sure.
Because at one point he was a lost clerk and became corrupted over time. It's great. And he dresses well, and it's like, well, they used to wear suits all the time. Now they wear like fucking windbreakers that are branded. They're dope as fuck. I want one. I want that.
The basketball
He,
coaches?
yeah. A lot of the basketball coaches. It's funny because they had Izzo went to it was northern. He went to Northern Michigan. That's where he played college ball and started his career at coaching and as an assistant. And then they had this exhibition game, and he went there and got jersey retired. His best friend is a former football coach, and he works for Fox Sports and stuff, or NFL Network, or one of those jobbers. And they were doing all this stuff, and they had a skit with the two of them, like they were still in college together, but they're clearly like he's wearing like a '70s like wig. It was so funny, but yeah, he had the voice. He's got this like ruined Uper voice, this ruined instrument, and it's great. Oh god, I mean, there's not a lot of like guys like that because like, I mean, there's
Guys with
mostly
weird voices? In
yeah.
sports? Yeah. Chris Collinsworth. He's got a crazy sports voice.
He wasn't like a coach though.
I thought we were just talking crazy voices.
He's got
What are we
great.
talking?
He
What
eats
are we
sand.
talking about?
I don't know, pussy. I don't know.
You know who's looking good lately? Totally off topic, but it's another TV person.
Is it a
Judge
man?
Judy, man. No, Judge Judy.
Oh, that's fine.
She
What'd she
changed
get?
her she changed her hairdo. She's in like a new studio, new show. It's still the same thing, but she got a ponytail now instead of her, look that she had
She got a
for
handlebar. You got
25
a
years.
Judge Judy with a handlebar, switching it up.
No, she got a ponytail. She's looking good. That's all
And
I'm
a
saying.
handlebar, man.
She looks
In the right
years younger.
context.
That woman's a genius. I love her. I love Judge Judy.
Yeah, she invented justice.
She did.
You know,
She
they were still burning witches before she came around.
Mm, mm.
Now
No,
they give them book deals.
she should be praised in the same way. Uh, what's her name?
Jerry
Ruth
Springer.
Bader. No, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She should
She's
be.
way. She's no. She's way better than RBG.
I'm saying she should be on the Supreme Court. I think Judge Judy should be nominated. I'm surprised
She's-
Trump didn't do it when he had the chance. He
She's
should've.
not on the Supreme Court.
She might as well be. She wouldn't take the pay cut. I think she works 40 days a year and ends up making like
She makes like
$50,000 an hour or something crazy.
she makes 50 million or something, or like 500 million a year.
Yeah, she's brilliant. I love her.
Is she a billionaire?
She must be.
I deeply respect all billionaires.
You must. Well, she was on TV when I was stuck. I was getting an oil change at a dealership, and
Yep,
I forgot
Yep.
headphones. So
Dealership TV is the best.
yeah. I mean, that's
You
that's
always
where
feel a
she's
little
on.
sick, right? Like you always feel like you go to a dealership or like a body shop job place, and you're like, I feel a little like I feel like I got a tickle in my throat. I feel a little clammy, and because all it's because the TV, whatever is on it, makes you feel like you're homesick from school.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a crappy. This is the first time I've done anything in a dealership. It's always just, some back alley shit, but this is a dealership and it was weird,
Oh
you
yeah,
know, because
yeah. We're
it's
we're no
just
stranger
different.
to back alley dealings. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
like here,
But I
here's
forgot my headphones, so like, I didn't want to watch something on my phone. I mean,
okay, Warren.
you know,
I know.
I can't just put blast porno at full volume. Everyone's going to look at me weird and then it's going to be hard to maintain my erection.
I hate it when I can't maintain my erection in public.
Psych.
Worst.
That's what does it for me. People watching.
Oh, it does. I
No,
mean,
no, I'm
people feeling uncomfortable is definitely a turn on, obviously.
yeah. I
Let's be
got
clear. Not the person I'm with, the people that are around
right.
the event. The event. We're gonna call it the event.
You're you're peened in out and in the open?
My peen in the open is an event. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like how they come out. It's like people come to a dealership like as if they're going to like like a Civil War fucking battle, and they brought picnic baskets and shit because they thought it was gonna be like, "Oh, it's nice, whatever. We're
Hmm.
fighting over slaves or something. I don't know. I think it's just a nice day for a picnic." And then they come out and the same thing. They come out to their dealership and my dick is out, and then it's all of a sudden the war is on and Civil War cannons are blasting. They're like, shell shot. I didn't even get to finish my finger food. Just
No,
crazy shit.
and it was in just like Civil War was bloodier than they thought it was going to be.
Right. I mean, one minute you're going to a fucking picnic at Bull Run, the next thing you're fucking holding your buddy's guts in Antietam.
Yeah, yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
Dude, it's funny, but that's the second historical reference I've successfully made today. I made a reference about so one of our, a friend that was a Turkey Bowl legend, a touch football legend.
Hmm.
And he was in this fantasy league that you had recently quit. And he one year the only year he was in, he wasn't able to make the draft and they fucked him. They just totally fucked him over. And I compared that because the commission was trying to defend their actions, and I was like, dude, he got dogged worse than the Treaty of Versailles got the Germans. Because there was like, oh, give him two kickers or whatever. It was almost that bad. I was like, do you like him? I like him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Do you like him? Ah,
Uh,
how you doing, man?
I'd say well to quite well.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna bring that down. Let's say middling to well.
Are you middling or you're tittling along?
I'm not diddling, that's for sure.
No, tittling. I don't.
Tiddling,
It's not
like
really a
tit play.
word. I like inventing words. Isn't
Sure.
wordplay delicious?
Titillating's a
Say
word.
it. Say it 4 times in a row.
Titillating or tiddling? Tiddling?
Just
Ti-
tittling, tittling,
Tiddling.
tittling, tittling,
Tiddling.
tittling.
You
You
know
can't do it.
how when before you hit record, you said, "Should we have any topics?" And we said, "Nah, fuck it, just push play."
Yeah.
This is that middle zone where we're starting to feel our back is against the wall, and there's only one way out through it. I mean, I guess we could
Silliness,
stop
and
recording.
words, new words.
New
We
words.
can talk about Jimmy Carter.
Is he
I
still?
was
He's
like,
still kicking. He hit 100 years old, right? He's
he
alive.
did it just to like vote again or something, or so he said. What a trooper.
Is he? He didn't die though, right? He's still going.
No, if he died, he would have voted for the Democrats 4 times.
But
Oh, Republicans are skeezy too.
yeah, yeah.
Same. A little different, but same.
It all doesn't matter.
But I just like opened up Twitter before as I was sending the invite out, and it was just like a picture, and it was like I think it was somebody else, but it looked like a corpse, like in a wheelbarrow kind of thing. It was like a cart, and he looked like that they woke him up to vote from his hospice or something. I was like,
He's
I
100
don't think
years
this is
old, man.
true. I know, but it was like he looked like less preserved than the Egyptian body I saw in the fucking museum in Chicago, like an actual mummy, because full on mummy, and I was like, that looks better than whatever picture that was. That wasn't, I don't think was Jimmy Carter. I was like, oh, misinformation. I'm reporting this. I'm like, no, I don't care. But it's such a cesspool, dude. It's great. All cesspools are great.
What's a cesspool?
X or whatever it's called now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Everything should be every public square should devolve and change and devolve again like that place has. I think it's amazing. I mean, I mean, why would you believe hardly anything? If you have like you have to fact check on so many levels and so many different sites, and it's like who's watching the fact checkers? Who watches the Watchmen? You know?
I don't see any of it. I'm
That's
not on
great.
any of it. And
Well,
so
how do you eventually absorb information from people? Like, hey, did you hear about that thing? Like, no, tell me. Like earnestly.
yeah, sometimes
That's
they're like, well,
great.
such and such is happening. I'm like, I didn't tell me. And
Yeah, you
then
know,
sometimes they'll be
Bulgaria's
like,
got the nukes again. Bulgaria has nuclear weapons.
yeah, I am finding this out right now. Everything
I
is
know.
brand new.
What
It's
are your
great.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Wait, what
Bulgaria
does
with
Ja
nuclear.
think? Please, someone
Oh my
find
god, that
Ja.
was so great. Chappelle was so great, man.
Yeah,
That was
he's good.
awesome. Oh man, that was fucking awesome. I made a '90s reference to the teenagers that I work with today
Yeah.
because they did like the nose game, but they didn't call it the nose game. They're just like, oh, no. They were like the not it game basically. And I went then before the last one did. They're like, oh, he knows it. I was like, bro, we were doing that in the '90s. And then just like
Ugh.
crickets. Yeah, crickets, man. It was
Yeah.
great. And then I like went back to, managing the children, that's my space.
Good.
Managing the children, because I am the watchman. Oh, I need you. This could have been done afterward, but I'm trying to do a like a coaching thing for creative writing.
Uh-huh.
I got invited to a trunk or treat,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of funny because what do you do at a Halloween trunk or treat? You pass out candy. So I have to make my operation look real. Okay. It is real. I want to coach writing, and they offered me because of something I posted on Nextdoor, like an opportunity to go to the trunk or treat, just donate like $10, $15, put my car up there with my trunk and have like pass out candy and flyers or something. So I need a logo, is what I'm really trying to say.
Okay.
I have to make this look legit.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick at some of what you said. I
Okay.
heard I heard you need it to look legit when you're giving candy out of your trunk to children, and you
Yes.
want them to contact you or
Yes.
join. They want that you need them, is what you're saying. You need
I,
these
I'm
children.
I'm cultivating their creativity. I'm
Yeah.
not calling them. I
Do you
am
think you should
cultivating.
maybe use a big van instead and just call it like the riding wagon or something? Like, no, come
Riding
in.
wagon. Come in the riding wagon, grab a pencil right
Yeah,
there, and you everything is a surface to write on.
yeah. You'd have bean bags. It'd be great. Come in, sit on the bean bag. Let's
Oh
write.
God, let's write. A marble notebook's calling your name. It's
Okay, so
right there.
yeah, tell me afterwards, but I'll make a
Yeah, it
logo.
was like Coach Z or something, or like writing with
Sure,
Coach Z or some shit. With like
sure.
pencils make the Z or pens make the Z or something. Something
Okay,
class. I want it to look classy, like
real
right,
classic. Yeah,
classy.
we'll get AI to help get us
AI is
started.
gonna help. Oh, that's nice. That's super creative.
Yeah, man. Well, unless you start with them and then you tweak.
Yeah, I
I
know, but
told you I rely on ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT doesn't do the art, but other open AI does.
some of them.
ChatGPT just does free therapy. But also, guess what? They can't
So
spell strawberry. Well, they can, but if you ask ChatGPT how many R's are in the word strawberry, they tell you two.
what?
Yeah, it's like there's two R's in strawberry, and then no, 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 there's three,
Three.
and you can
How did I
count them,
not know?
and it'll go, oh, you're right, and then it'll tell you that there's three. But then if you ask it again later, it'll be like, oh, there's two.
You know why?
I do know why, but what do you know why? Where's your
My
joke?
what did you get to the joke? Get to the job. It's because it was like sourced from Americans. Like they called all this or they gathered all this information or this data, this this cultivation of of metrics and data and words and feelings and opinions from
Large
America.
language model. Yeah.
And they're all a lot of people are from Pennsylvania in that culling, and I think the problem lies in that they don't know how many R's are in strawberry.
Because they're brickheads? Is that why?
They're brickheads. How many R's are in brickhead? What?
Weird.
What are you asking me? What are you asking me? Wait, do it like a question. Do a statement like a question. They love to do that.
Yeah, they do.
There's 3 R's in strawberry. It was like that. Yeah.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, you got the whatever that's called, the thing that goes up at the end or it goes
The
down.
intonation or the inflection or whatever.
There's another word for it.
I don't know,
Word
but
people know.
we spend too much time around Pennsylvania brickets. To know what is the actual tech reason that they don't know how the fucking R's? Oh, that was a wet one. Ugh. It was like raisin puree in my throat. Ugh.
What's the
Love
real
it.
reason? Oh, because it takes it's stupid. I don't want to get into it, but basically it concatenates it because it makes it into math and then it calculates the math and responds back with math. So like it'll take 2 R's and shrink it to 1 R, just like when you're dealing with binary, if it's got a long string of ones or a long string of zeros,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
shrinks
yeah.
it down to just a 0 and a 1, and somehow that makes
There's a
sense to a
tiny
computer,
part of
but it
my
doesn't make
brain
sense
that
to me.
actually understands what you're saying, though.
Good,
Isn't that
good.
great?
There's a tiny part of my brain that understands it, but
I thought you were gonna say there's a tiny part that understands the things that you say.
well, yeah, that's also true. There's a tiny part that understand others, and that there's a certain point where people are talking where I'm like, I lost you. It's just repeat that or say something different. But
Say something better. Say something different and smarter. Say it
I
better.
going forward, I'd like to hear less about that.
I know that's what my father said.
Yes.
That's great.
Did we say
Going
that last
for
time too?
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, that's so hilarious. It's like
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
we
see.
did. We'll do it again.
It doesn't matter. It's
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 so great though.
it's the void. No one cares. No one cares out
Nobody
there. They're garbage
cares.
people. The
They're
garbage
garbage.
people in the void.
Yeah, you're a garbage person listening. You're trash. You're excrement. You're worse than excrement.
But
You're urine.
aren't you close to 250,000 views or listens?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Do we talk about that? Do you talk metrics? Is that something you
Let's talk
discuss?
about it.
Let's
Talk
talk
about
about metrics, baby,
baby. Let's talk metrics, baby. Let's
big
talk about
homie, gonna talk about
50.
metrics.
Let's talk about all the listeners in Vietnam. Let's talk about metrics. Oh, I
You know,
farted.
are we still getting Jakarta? What
I
we
think
got going
so.
on in Jakarta?
Yeah, Jakarta, what is happening? Do you have an election or erection? Are there election erections in Jakarta right now? What's happening? Has anyone been stoned recently in one fashion or the other? Are you have any big music acts that are going to be exported to the other part of the world? Anything going on? Any new strain of anything? Flus? Anything cool? Jakarta, are you listening? Tweet us
You
at
know,
Degenerate Show.
you mentioned erections, and I wanted to get into something. Going back to Ohio, I was talking about my erection with a group of friends who
Okay.
didn't surprisingly didn't seem interested in discussing it any further. I had a friend sharing her success recently about she's got ADHD and she got on
Yeah.
medication and she was saying it's great and everything's great. And
Yeah,
I
it's
was like,
pretty good. What's she on? She tell you?
yeah, Adderall, like the extended release Adderall. And I'm like, yeah, I started taking Adderall. I'm like, it makes my penis small. I don't know if you guys got that going on, but it makes my wiener real small. Um, and then my sweet wife, interjected that like, and I was saying like, just when I'm on it, like it still works, it's still fine. It's just when I'm on it, and then when I'm off of it, it seems like it's fine. And then my sweet wife is like, well, it's always been small. And then so I was telling her like, well, I think the Adderall is affecting her memory somehow, and that's really like
Yeah.
surprising.
It's
So it's made my
when you're having unsatisfying small dick intercourse with her.
that must be what it is.
The seepage of the
Mhm.
medication, let's be clear, that's the only thing seeping is the medication.
Mhm.
Through osmosis seepage.
Soaking, right? Isn't that what they do? Soaking.
Soaking, the Mormon soak, yeah. But it absorbs it like a sponge, if you will. All the expelled uh mechanisms of this medication that are excess. They're like, oh, this is just the toxins, the toxins. They're good toxins, they're good. Best toxins. They get absorbed and they get stupid and think you have a small dick.
That must be
Which
what it is. But it's always been big.
it's been big. It's been bigger in the last decade than it's ever been because I'm serving the people of Ohio.
Right.
Ohio, you have to listen. My penis is big. I do have the ADHD.
Well,
It
I didn't
makes
say big.
power.
It's adequate at best.
It's big for Ohio.
It serves its purpose. You know what? There was pictures of me at this wedding with Ohioans, and I love the Ohio people.
The
But
best people of Midwest, and that's not Michigan.
they were pretty much all really small. All the people,
They were
all
tiny
the
people.
they were. I mean, not to go back to where we started earlier in our
Is
conversation.
Nelwyn in Ohio?
It very well may be. They were not a tall people. There were
Were
a
there
lot of
rivers
short
there?
kings. There was a lot of short kings at that wedding.
Ohio Short Kings, man. That's great.
Title of the podcast today.
I know it's gonna be. I'll remember it. I'll remember.
Maybe,
it 'cause
Ohio short kings and Pennsylvanian brickheads.
These are the people that are going to change the
America's
course of our country.
turnpikes. Yeah, there you go.
America's
They
turnpikes. That's right. They are. They turn it up, man. They get turned on them pikes, man. I farted. It's scary, like driving in the.
I think that last part, I
Pennsylvania.
heard it, so I think that's going to register on the podcast.
I think it'll register. I mean, Zoom. Good luck blocking that. You can block out our musical interest. You cannot take my heart, and you cannot block my fart. That was actually a Jim Valvano reference, a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? The SBs. You know what I'm talking about?
The
You know what I'm talking about?
speech.
Jimmy V speech, man. I paraphrased it for my fart joke. This
It's
is
been
what
a-
you're missing if
It's
you're
been
not
a full
listening.
day now. It's been a full
It's
day.
it's been a full day. That's a full day. You have a cry, you have a laugh, you have a fart on the air.
I haven't
fart
listened-
sent over the world.
I haven't listened to his speech for a while. I'm gonna have to listen to it tomorrow. Get pumped up.
Get pumped, get torqued, get bricked up, man. I got to challenge you. I got to challenge you. Okay, I want you to eat a bunch of oysters. Okay, get bricked up. See how long, and then instead of timer, how long during the Jimmy V speech, how long it takes to lose that boner. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
I don't know if I get all boned up from oysters, man.
Yeah, but are you gonna get boned down from Jimmy V? All right, bye.